Who is YouTube's favorite Sims creator? I can tell you with confidence it's not Lilsimsie, Deligracy, James Turner, or Kelsey. It might be someone that you don't even know. Thank you to my members for your continued support, and thank you to all the new ones that joined in the last few weeks. I truly appreciate your support on my channel. I decided to run an experiment on YouTube and see just who the algorithm recommends the most. Let me briefly explain how the recommended algorithm works. YouTube watches your searches and viewing habits to recommend you content. When you start with no history like I did for this experiment, YouTube wants to make the best impression on a new viewer by recommending you content that has a history of high viewer satisfaction. If, for example, you have videos full of clickbait and boring filler content like the bigger Simmers, YouTube isn't going to recommend you as much. It's that simple. My experiment started with the Sims YouTube channel. I clicked on the latest trailer for Growing Together, primed the YouTube algorithm with the fact that I like Sims content, and started my ride on YouTube recommended. First stop was LGR's review of the Growing Together pack. Excellent video, but I've already covered this in my last video, so we'll let the algorithm autoplay into another video. Next choice is a creator I've never seen before, the Golden Bolt, and their video on weird Sims console story modes.
EA turned back around and re-kickstarted development on the Herbs, while also taking Edge of Reality's Sims console engine and putting together a second Sim console team at Maxis to develop a direct sequel to The Sims, and do so in only 6 months' time. Yeah, rather than contracting this sequel out to a capable developer that had just proven itself with the first game, EA further splintered the already understaffed Maxis so that they were working on 2 different console Sims games at the same time, alongside The Sims 2 for PC, several Sims 1 expansions, SimCity 4, The Sims Online MMO, and also Spore.
Holy cow, 6 months to turn around a game? That is just bonkers. I know this is just about the console ports, but there were PC ports at this time too, like Life Stories, Pet Stories, and Castaway Stories. The amount of pressure on these poor developers is just ridiculous. EA has always been a taskmaster, and I wonder if there was regret in selling the franchise to them at this time. I'm sure as time has gone on and The Sims 4 was crapped out, there was regret, but I'm getting a clear picture why there are very few people still around from the glory days, because EA essentially chewed them up and spit them out.
In essence, if you try to complete the first 3 missions of The Sims tutorial in the order they're given to you, you're doomed to fail if you don't know any better, because it's frankly impossible to live with Kenny's mom without her ruining his mental health. It's just a mess, and after trying to balance the tightrope that was Kenny's emotional health for a good hour plus, I realized that he was a lost cause, that I had failed him. So, like any reasonable person, I killed him and replaced him with his brother Leonard.
Oh my god, it's like a fox chicken grain puzzle, but 100 times worse. If you fix the TV, you get screwed over by not only the TV electrocuting you, but your mother watching it while you're trying to sleep if you fix it. If you spend your time learning mechanics skill to fix the TV while you've screwed your mood and your window to learn how to cook any food. Hope you like constant fires, chip bags all over the floor, and the pizza delivery person stealing your pizza and your money if you don't get to the door fast enough. That coupled with the painfully slow playing speed, this game sounds like an absolute nightmare. Most of the games in this video owe their creation to the Herbs, but I can't help but wonder if Herbs doing so poorly sales-wise was a byproduct of this terrible rushed game.
I think that there's just some level of unique charm that makes this a game worth revisiting. This and Bustin' Out are really the only 2 that I would say that for, not to spoil the last part of the video here. And even if it does make for a worse gameplay experience in the traditional Sims sense, I would really love to see this direct analog control make a return in a future game, or as a mod or something. Hell, it might exist for all I know.
This was my first Sims game, and there is so much charm to this game. There's also a lot of jank. Like the Golden Bolt, I too love the ability to have direct control over my sim with the analog stick. I was also sad to find out that that was a console-only thing and never returned in any of the mainline games. Another feature I absolutely loved was being able to create recipes. You just threw some ingredients together and got different recipes depending on which combination of ingredients and what appliance you used. It was really fun to puzzle out all the recipes and make the dishes that gave different mood boosts. Real talk, I think I had more fun with the cooking mechanic than I did with the actual game. It's a real shame that that never came to the mainline games either. I can absolutely see why YouTube recommended this to me. It's well produced, intriguing, interesting to watch, and well paced. Most Sims players probably have never heard of these games, let alone played them, so you have a built-in audience of people who want to learn about these games and others who want to take a trip down memory lane. A solid video, and I recommend you check this one out and its sister video, My Sims The Wii's Weird Sims Spin-Offs. That video was recommended to me after this one, and sadly I can't cover every video in my experiment, but it was just as fascinating to watch. I had no idea EA made a My Sims Mario Kart clone and a Star Wars Squadron style flying My Sims game. Everything about that is just weird. Let's move to the next video recommended to me. What is the point of The Sims?
Getting to the top of a career path brings more money, sure, but it also means unlocking a powerful item for the children of that sim. And it's this, again, somewhat obvious seeming change that caused all my male teenage friends to get into this game back in high school.
I picked up The Sims 3 because I wanted some escapism, and it is interesting to hear the other reasons people started playing The Sims. Also, giving rewards like that, making it easier for the next generation, is such a great gameplay loop. It's wild to me that people treated the game like how you would play Skyrim or WoW. Never in a million years would I have thought that someone would pick up a Sims game to grind for loot.
The Sims 3, as far as I can tell, is generally remembered as the best in the series, but The Sims 3's combination of traits, moodlets, and community lots takes it to an even higher level, leading to memorable character stories that cause players to have such affection for the game. And you don't have to be a writer to draw all these threads together. The game does it all on its own, using its varied mechanics to spin effortless narratives of humor, romance, and heartache.
And that's why this game is considered to be the best and remembered so fondly. It was effortless. You didn't need to write a novel or force fun things to happen in your game, it just happened organically as you played. All you had to do as the player was to approach the game with a tiny bit of thought and creativity, and the game filled in the dots for you. That's probably why I don't like The Sims 4. I have to do everything to make that game fun. It makes playing a video game something done for fun and pleasure into a colossal chore.
It feels like Sims 4 took all the past mechanics of the franchise and rebuilt them into a solid foundation, and then didn't know what to do with it. The game feels small, cramped, and isolated. The Sims 4 thus seems to exist only to be a platform for DLC. In some ways, that brings it full circle, back to being a dollhouse, an empty vessel given identity only by the things purchased for it. It's still about the money, just not in the Sims wallet. Now it's about the money in yours.
Ooh, burn. I couldn't have said that better. The Sims 4 is an empty dollhouse that requires you to pony up money to make incremental improvements, but it's never finished or complete. There's always another pack, another kit, another DLC that could make the experience better, and when you purchase said pack, you find that half the important things are missing and the box is infested with bugs. Despite a few mistakes, which honestly, if you can talk for 3 hours about several different games and not make any mistakes, I'd like to see it, I wholeheartedly recommend this video. Let's check out our first build video, building an 8-floor home for 8 Sims in The Sims 4. I like the banter back and forth, and you know I'm a sucker for green, but I don't have much to say about this build video. They did a good job sticking to the parameters of just base game and growing together, so good that the base game items didn't stick out like sore thumbs, unlike another builder we know. Lots of creative little touches and a house full of character. If you like build videos, check it out. Moving right along, we're on to a new Devin Bumpkin video. This one is called Renovating Judith Ward's Awful Mansion. I did a whole video going over the awful base game builds in The Sims 4, but I'm not really familiar with how bad the ones are in Del Sol Valley. Well, besides the one they forgot to put the toilets in.
We have siding, wooden siding that looks like it belongs somewhere in the Hamptons and not in the kind of like Beverly Hills area of The Sims, really, to be honest with you. The weird placement of like lavender, this funny bin out here with that stupid little door with those big stairs there. What is that, for goodness sake? Like, look at these windows. Half of those windows at the top there are hidden away by the bloody trims. The weird choices of windows, that base game one in the blue, that one in the white and brown. Seriously, I told you that makes me unnecessarily angry, this build.
Oh my god, what is this house? Do they let just anyone off the street build for this game? I'm not a talented builder in any way, shape, or form, but I could do better than this. You know how in some in-game houses you can remodel them just a little bit and you can sort of bear to play in them with the walls down? Not this one. This house just needs to be bulldozed and started over.
Gone for base game for most of it, apart from the windows and the columns, to be honest with you, and the stairs, and also the flooring, so probably not all of it. Put in some trees on the side here. What else did we do? We went for a bit more of like a domed kind of shape at the top. And I think we're going to do a very symmetrical wing on each side of the build.
Already, that looks 1,000 times better than the EA monstrosity, and it's not even done yet. It looks classy and like it belongs in Beverly Hills and not in the bargain bin at Walmart.
Landscaping is complete. We've also put in some more details everywhere. And you may see these little llamas here that I've gave them the same hairstyle as Judith's, but I just think that's absolutely iconic as far as I'm concerned. I've put our dining table out on this area here, coming out from that area there, and I've also done the balcony here with some sun loungers so they can look down upon all of the peasants that live down in that area there.
Wow, now isn't the house a statement piece? Imagine driving up the hill and seeing this house versus driving up the hill and seeing the old one. One says glitz and glamour and the other says rundown hovel. I absolutely love the llamas with the big updos, but I think those are too good for Judith. She doesn't deserve things like that. Another excellent video by Devin Bumpkin. After this video, YouTube recommended me their renovated goth family home, and all I can say is Devin has their work cut out for them. The next video recommended to me was Call Me Kevin's I Ruined The Sims by Trying to Be a Farmer.
I spent over half, and look what I have to show for it. Some dirt, some water, and some idiot out in the middle of the road. Well, this calls for race car bed. I can't even afford a toilet. Make sure you don't get out of the wrong side of the bed. Oh wait, he's paying for fertilizer? I thought he'd just, you know, make it himself.
Kevin, did you expect him to squat down and go to the bathroom in the dirt so you could have free fertilizer? No, Kevin, no. That's not how any of this works.
I just had a McDonald's thought. What if I had a plant baby and used child labor to run the farm? Is it as simple as this? Dude, what if you have like just an itchy head and you just start shaking it around and you accidentally make a baby?
That's how you make plant sims in The Sims 2? You just shake your head a little bit and the baby shows up? Wow, had no idea it was that easy. Sims 3, you have to successfully make one at the science machine, plant it, and wait for it to grow. I much prefer this way. Can you imagine how easy it would be to speedrun a hunter baby if you could just shake your head and have a bunch of babies?
I don't hear fishing over there. Why did you stop? They stopped for 5 minutes over the space of like 2 weeks and I give out to them. Okay, the plant stuck in the walls of the barn isn't looking too good. What are you crying about? What, your sandwich is too far away? What's upsetting you? Getting some weekly updates here, and for some reason the one who's trapped in the wall is actually kind of positive about the whole thing. Just casually waiting for one of my children to die. I think I'll set the bed to vibrate. Yeah, that's more like it.
And everything just descends into madness. If you've ever wondered why Kevin gets millions of views and other simmers don't, this is why. Creativity, humor, silliness, chaos. When was the last time you saw a Let's Play with those traits? After this video, the algorithm recommended me another by Call Me Kevin, The Sims 2, but I start with $0. But unfortunately, I have to stick to my one video per person rule or we would be here forever. The next recommended creator is someone new to me, Juno Birch. Just looking at their thumbnail, how have they never been recommended to me before?
We also sell Joy Desperates in the supermarket. Yes, that's happening. And they are frozen in the freezers. They're very cheap and nasty. You don't need them, but they are for sale. There's also a sign that says, do not touch the Joy Desperates because they do bite. So you can buy Joy Desperates frozen or you can buy them cooked also. We cook them in this little thing here.
What? I can buy them frozen or cooked on whatever looks like a rocket fire. I am loving everything about this. I love that the supermarket owner has teeth outside her skull, that the husband is a compulsive liar, and that there are people in pink gorilla suits minding the cash register. I absolutely love the creativity of the loudspeaker messages too. I am always blown away by the creativity of this community when you get away from the boring popular ones.
Why are we carrying a pan of mac and cheese into the supermarkets? That's not very professional. Put that down. Okay, oh my god, we're using the elevator. Oh my goodness me, what is happening? What is happening? Oh great. Right, pause. It's not even been 5 minutes and the Joy Desperates have already set fire to the freezer area.
Oh my god, the chaos! I just love that one of them is calmly using the bathroom like the room next door isn't on fire and all the other clones are screaming like they're dying. The one question I have is, where did Hillary Scruff get the pan of mac and cheese? Did she pull it out of nowhere to go stand by the freezer case and tease the Joy Desperates? Inquiring minds must know.
What a lovely supermarket. What could pop... Oh dear, oh my goodness me, oh dear, look what's just happened. One of the Joy Desperates has died at the checkout desk and the Grim Reaper has decided to come to my supermarket. Would you like to buy something, Grim Reaper? I can assure you this is very nice. Oh my god, we should so hire the Grim Reaper as an employee.
Having a bunch of Grim Reapers on the register would definitely help out with the amount of death going on in the supermarket. Wait, Grim could be their janitor as well, 2 for the price of 1. Clean up in aisle 5, Grimmy. Grim would make an excellent worker, never has to sleep or eat or throw a tantrum about life. Sadly, we must leave this amazing grocery store behind, but the fun continues if you want to check out the other video recommended to me from Juno Birch. They apparently did a video trying to raise a bunch of infants in The Sims 4, and that was just as much chaos as this video. Unfortunately, we must move on to the ultimate winner of this experiment with a whopping 4 videos recommended to me. I think we'll check out the Sims 2 video because I don't know much about that game.
Perhaps one of the most grim life states is that of the zombie. Zombies have particularly horrific implications in The Sims 2. When they're brought back, their faces will be gaunt and their skin pale, they'll be unable to move any quicker than a slow shamble, and all of their skills will be forgotten, and they'll be unable to conceive any children. They're immortal and will never age, and there's no cure, meaning that they're basically stuck like this forever. The fact that their relationship with whoever brought them back will be significantly lowered and becoming a zombie will be registered as a negative memory for most Sims indicate that this isn't seen as a second chance and a new lease on life, but rather a curse and a disruption of their eternal rest.
We're less than 10 minutes in and wow, just so many details and strange things, like Kid Ghost not having a walking animation and just appearing and disappearing, and they bring random Sims to your lot? That's weird. The zombie thing stopped me in my tracks though. You think you're doing a nice thing bringing back a loved one and they become a zombie and the game does everything it can to make you feel guilty for their miserable existence.
It leaves tidbits and clues for you to piece together. It sprinkles in bizarre memories or nonsensical family trees or odd and ominous descriptions and lets your imagination do the rest. Was Bella really abducted by aliens? What were the Caliente sisters really up to? What's the deal with Olive's grim garden? What will be the final fate of Nervous Subject? It's all up to the player. They can play the households however they want, wrap up or continue these storylines however they want, and make their own mysteries and secrets.
Wow, the creators went overboard with all the creepy lore. I really thought Bella's and Olive's backstory was dark, but poor Nervous Subject. I would have to play the family, free them, give them the best life I could to make up for the dark backstory.
It's extremely easy to corrupt the game with cheats. Bringing back certain NPCs from the dead or spawning them on your lot will corrupt the game. Placing Sims in certain neighborhoods or making them interact with certain Sims can corrupt your game too, for example moving Bella back to Pleasant View. For example, and this sentence will sound insane, if the NPC Mrs. Crumplebottom is bitten by a vampire, the entire game will corrupt and can only be fixed by uninstalling and reinstalling the entire game.
I knew The Sims 2 had a laundry list of things that would corrupt the game, but something as simple as a Sim getting bitten by a vampire, something that would be way out of your control, just destroying your game like that? That's crazy. After taking a look at all these creators, I definitely understand why they are recommended to new viewers. I didn't get a single dud video. Each one was fun and interesting, which is exactly what viewers want. They want to be entertained, they want to have fun. I think a lot of the notable Sims players, strangely missing from this experiment, should probably take that into consideration, because you can only play Hunter Baby or Not So Berry the default way so many times before people will become bored and leave your channel for good. And based on this experiment, it doesn't seem like YouTube is interested in pushing their content for them. Good thing EA is around to give them a leg up, or who knows where their channels would be.